Everybody. I had a big aha moment that I just had to share it with you. And I don't know if you experienced this too, but I'm always talking about nutrition and health and nutrigenomics and how our body is able to be activated. And food is our medicine, right? And food has changed over the years. And I'm so grateful in a way to be my age because when I was growing up, you got a lot more nutrition in an orange, an apple, a banana. It was nutrient dense. And today that is really watered down. And our bodies are really feeling it. And it's a challenge going to the grocery store. I don't know about you, but it's like, what can I buy that's safe? What can I buy that's going to give me fuel for my body for the amount of money that I'm spending? And I see more and more people just really pondering in the aisles, looking at ingredients, how much, looking for all the different ways that they make sugar and add it to our products and fructose and the seed oils and everything is sort of sneaky and hidden. But that's also if you're purchasing processed food. So I really try to stay away from that. And growing up, my family stayed away from that. And there is a timeline of our food and how it changed in our world, and it's really interesting. So I think in the 50s and early 60s, like TV dinners came in, and that was like, wow, we can have a little break, and it changed the way people looked at things. But we had very basic food. Now, in the mornings, a lot of times on school mornings, we did have cereal, but mainly it was often Cheerios, and we did have Captain Crunch. Oh my gosh, how much sugar was in that? And we didn't have Fruit Loops, but um, Life maybe. Anyway, so that probably was a compromise in the morning. But a packed lunch for school, it was a sandwich, an apple, a cookie, something like that, a tuna fish sandwich, um, simple, we had simple foods. And I complained about that over the years. I went, oh my gosh, I love the rich spices and flavors of so many different cultures' foods. We would order out for Chinese food or pizza, and but I love Thai food and Mexican, not as much, but I Indian food. I just love food with flavor. And I had this aha moment of, we had simple foods. So the meals were more functional and fuel for our body. We ate simply. We didn't sit at the table for long periods of time. And some cultures do that. And food is a very big part of their day and their family gatherings. But, we had a protein, a meat. We had, a chicken cutlets, meatloaf, lamb chops. Gosh, we could afford those then. Steak, hamburger. Um, the most extravagant thing we might have would be lasagna. And that was the first thing I ever learned how to make, actually. But we would have spaghetti, so that came out of a jar, and meatballs. We had homemade chicken soup all the time. My grandmother made homemade French fries, and she made homemade like Polish pasta. I'm Polish. A Polish, we call it kluski. And so we had all those basic things. For dessert, we did have jello or fruit cup or pudding. And then at night, we would have milk and cookies. And we would come home from school, we would have a snack, milk and cookies, something like that. We'd go out and play, do our homework, do all those things. We weren't eating all day. We weren't snacking all day. We didn't have tons of chips and all these different snack foods. We were out playing and doing stuff. And we didn't drink sodas every once in a while. But I'm really grateful for that now. And the aha moment I had is that food wasn't a centerpiece and of snacking all the time, of it being attached to love and emotions. And it was really very utilitarian, utilitarian, and functional, that we sit down, we eat. This is our meal. This was a well balanced meal. We had Jiffy Pop sometimes. We would have kibasi and rye bread and things of that nature, kibasi and eggs on the weekend. So we really had, very basic foods. And always say to other people, oh my gosh, our foods were very basic and very bland and salt and pepper, and that was about it. But now I see the value of that and how healthy we were. And weight was a really big thing in our family. I was very petite. I had to sew my own clothes even because they didn't have any cool clothes for teenagers that were petite sizes when I was growing up. So I had this aha moment of how grateful I am that there isn't this whole emotional attachment to food so much. Now, have I brought that in? Yes, I have. Emotional eating, maybe loneliness, maybe so much food available. Our culture has changed. Food is featured all the time on TV and advertisements, and it's just working from home, working virtually. It's like grab something here and there. Food has changed. And so I'm going back to those basic fundamentals, and I'm grateful that I have that as my background. What was your background? Let me know.